2, 3, 2. Black sheep. So what's the which is 0, 0, 0, 6. Grand Rising, Grand Rising. Grand Rising, everybody. Let's jump right into it. So since I haven't been live in a minute, we'll start off with, let's see here, what is this? January the 10th, 006, as you can see, promised. With the only big money pattern on fire to manifest straight. And as you can see, in most cases, I can make it happen in 24 to 48 hours. That right there is a key. That right there is a key to let you know what the minimum requirement to investing 101. You should be taking notes right now, especially VIP, especially if you plan on becoming a VIP in the near future. Because what I am doing here, I am exclusively showing you how to create a residual windfall. And it's just up to you. Again, when I give you the keys, it's right there in the prediction, which is a prerequisite to join my VIP. Because I don't do well with answering simple questions that are already answered within the prediction. Like the first one. Do you do New York? Do you do Louisiana? Do you do California? Ladies and gentlemen, I do all states. It's right in the prediction. We'll get to that shortly. And by the time we get to the end, if we still have a little bit of time, if I haven't done your state, then when you type your state in, when I ask for it, that's when I will show you just how powerful these predictions are. So again, as you can see, they dropped 006. I told my VIP on 1/8, look out for 006 by placing that number combination on fire. Now, these are not ordinary number combinations, ladies and gentlemen. So when you think that I'm doing one thing, I'm doing totally the opposite. Again, I promise the fire will manifest 1/8 to 1/16. I also guarantee its debut in Florida. But look, before I say it goes to Florida, I always tell you that it will go to your state. Your state is all states. Again, and I can make this happen in 24 to 48 hours. 24 hours is 1 day. 48 hours is 2 days. Ladies and gentlemen, I do make this look relatively easy, but it is rather difficult to be this accurate every single day. The only combination on fire. And at any given time, ladies and gentlemen, I will stop speaking and I'll wait to see some love because that's what this is. This is a reciprocation of love. So again, love will reciprocate love. As I see the love, I'm going to reciprocate that love. So let's get off of that prediction here, because what I'm going to tell you is you're going to see a pattern. 670, ladies and gentlemen, look at that. Triple dollar sign. I promise my triple dollar sign big money pattern would manifest on 110. On 110. To win, this is a prerequisite. You must focus on my top 5 3 digits, which I promise, the triple dollar signs. I want you to notice something about those. This here. Look, to win, focus on my top 5. Watch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Boom, boom, boom. You see that, right? Now watch this. I promise triple dollar signs will manifest. Look at that. So not only is it the top 5, it is the first triple dollar sign you see. That's a key. If you're taking notes and you're writing down what I'm telling you the keys are, you're going to do extremely well from this point forward. As you can see, I guaranteed it would debut in your state, which is all states, but I also exclusively said you would see it in North Carolina. And guess what? In most cases, I don't practice this, but I said I can make it happen in 24 to 48 hours. You see it for yourself right there. Ladies and gentlemen, 7722. Ladies and gentlemen, you're black sheep. Black sheep, for those who don't know, guess what? Now you know that I am very aware of black sheeps, which are underdog big money patterns. Again, these are combinations that hardly anybody will be taking notice of. So if you're not taking notice of it, you're not aware. And if you're not aware, you're not going to place a wager, and you're definitely not going to invest in it. So again, for my advanced VIP members, you should know when you see a big money pattern that is a black sheep. A big money pattern is a number combination, sum, or pair or trio for your 4 digits that will give you a consistent pattern, 2 or more. If you got 2, you're bound to see 3. If you got 3, guess what? That is a pattern. Seriously. Especially if you see it within a 3-day period and less. So again, you're looking at black sheeps on time, guaranteed no one would know, straight. You see it for yourself that I said it would manifest between the dates 1/4 and 1/13. Ladies and gentlemen, as you can see, look at that right there. 5475, guaranteed to manifest. Look, on 19, I told you to win. Focus on my top 5 4 digits. They will manifest from 19 to 117. Ladies and gentlemen, that number dropped on 110. Again, this information is for investment purposes only. I do not promote gambling. I am not an advocate of gambling. I just go for what I know. And these are the things that I know. So again, as you can see. 1, 2, 3, 4. Look at this. I also guarantee the number 4 big money pattern will show up in your state and also in Georgia. And in most cases, I can make it happen in 24 to 48 hours. Ladies and gentlemen, 3197, ladies and gentlemen, number 1 big money pattern. You see it for yourself. A 5-year-old can pick out the number 1 big money pattern. And I tell you that it'll manifest between the dates 1/7 and 1/15. I tell you to win, to focus on the top 5, which I promised the first 2. You see it for yourself as proof. Ladies and gentlemen, as you can see, 365, ladies and gentlemen, I promised my VIP. If you believed in me, you would see, look, on 1/9 to win, focus on my top 5 3 digits, which I promise the first 2, 1, 2. You see it for yourself. I said they will manifest. Notice that I use very articulate verbiage to complete these manifestations. When I say that will, that means that maybe is out of the question. That means that might, it's never going to be might because it's going to happen. Okay? Guess what? I don't even think you see that I say that it will manifest on 1/10, the day of. You can't beat this type of sacred information. Ladies and gentlemen, 362 on January 10th. Ladies and gentlemen, I promised my VIP, if they believed in me and believed in the winning instructions. These are simple winning instructions that a 5-year-old can follow. I tell them all the time, don't worry about all other numbers. Just invest in the number 1 big money pattern. Look, on 1/4, I told them, look, I've already seen this happen. So it will happen again and again and again and again. So to win, what you must do is focus on my top 5 3 digits, which I promise. The first 2, what do we have here? The number 1 big money pattern. You see it for yourself. I said that it will manifest from 1/5. You see that, ladies and gentlemen? On 1/4, I saw it. I instructed my VIP. Don't play. Don't play. Don't play the lottery. Invest in my number 1, look at it, big money pattern. And I also guarantee that you will see it in what? Texas on 1/10. Ladies and gentlemen, you still have what? Today is the 12th. You got 2 more days. You need to be writing this down. This is the only reason why I go live. 858, ladies and gentlemen. Woo! 858. I promised my VIP that I could make manifest the very last number you see. You see it for yourself straight. I told them on 1/10, you would see me make this manifestation happen. and I don't practice this. It's in writing. How can you miss it? A 5-year-old can pick this out. Ladies and gentlemen, 014. Ladies and gentlemen, I guaranteed my VIP if they believed in me and my hard work, they would follow my winning instructions. Look, on January the 6th, I told them, you will see this happen, so invest in the best. I am the best. Ladies and gentlemen, to win, you need to focus on the top 5 3 digits. 1, 2, 3, 4. Straight! Ladies and gentlemen, you can see it, the number 4, 1, 2, 3, 4 in Texas. Ladies and gentlemen, got 9350. Ladies and gentlemen, I guaranteed the number 3 big money pattern to win on 19. I told my VIP, look, to win, you focus on my top 5 4 digits. They will manifest from 19 to 117. Anybody paying attention to that 24 to 48 hours? Anybody paying attention to that? That's when I should be seeing the love. I should be seeing an extraordinary amount of love when I'm telling you these secrets, especially if you plan on becoming a VIP, because you need to know that there are prerequisites to join. And I put it in writing what those prerequisites are. Ladies and gentlemen, look at this. 1978, ladies and gentlemen, the only big money pattern on fire. I told you, hey, look, I promised to manifest my only big money pattern on fire, January the 10th. I told you, invest in it from 14 to 112. You will see this happen. Ladies and gentlemen, I will show off from time to time. And as you can see, my numbers do not lie. This is when I should be seeing an extraordinary amount of love. You see it for yourself. To win, look, focus on my top 5 4 digits. They will manifest. Look at that. On 110 to 119. I also guarantee you'll see these numbers in Texas. And look, I don't practice this, but look, and in most cases, I can make it happen in 24 to 48 hours. So you see it for yourself. So look, you got 994. Ladies and gentlemen, take the children out of the room because you can see this for yourself. On 1-5, I stepped out of my body, went into the future, told you I'm going to bring back numbers that I will place on fire. You see the only motherfucking big money pattern on fire. I told you they will manifest 16 to 114. In your state, Arizona, for those of you who think I don't do all states, your state is listed first, but y'all not paying attention to me. Ladies and gentlemen, 761, look at that right there. I promised this would go to Arkansas. 761, straight. Your state is all states. This is why you don't see me, you getting a I hear people saying, well, I sent you an email. I sent you a text message. I'm not answering stupid questions. I'm not. Don't play with me. Don't play with my supernatural intelligence, and I won't play with yours. Again, when I tell you that the energy, frequency, and vibration of a combination is telling me that it has a signature, And that signature is not going to lie. I prove it every single day for the last 8 going on 9 years. I've been banned from multiple platforms because of me spitting the truth in accurate information, real time. So again, you see it for yourself. That's Arkansas, ladies and gentlemen. Look at this, 0888. Woo! Black sheep, black sheep. On time to manifest. Look at that, by the deadline date. Arkansas. Look at this, 620, California. Look at that, number 1, big money pattern. I do all states. There isn't a state that I can't see. I see all states. I see all realms. I see all worlds. I see everything. So can you. But you've been dummied down with fast food. You've been dummied down and you don't even know it. So every day that you was going to school, I was skipping school. Yep, that's what I was doing. I wasn't going to that place. The only day I went to school was test day. I had a very, very poor attendance. I had the worst attendance of every student. You don't even know the half of it, ladies and gentlemen. So, again, when I tell you that you all have a very, very significant supernatural power that's laying dormant within you. And it's not just one, there's multiple. And you don't want to utilize it because your parasites are keeping you from activation. So your taste buds are not even your taste buds. Especially if you tasting chicken, the most carcinogenic animal on the planet. Designed and developed in a lab to cause cancer. So again, ladies and gentlemen, let's get this thing moving. 535, look at that. Only motherfucking big money pattern on fire. You see it for yourself. Promised it would happen between the dates 1/5 and 1/13. Right there, it's in writing. Ladies and, oh, wait a minute, that's California. Ladies and gentlemen, 3180, one of my favorite numbers. Straight! Only motherfucking big money pattern on fire. And do you do California? Does this answer the motherfucking question? Straight! Thousands upon thousands upon thousands. Ladies and gentlemen, 499, ladies and gentlemen, you see it for yourself. I met the deadline. I promised the only big money pattern on fire, 499, for investment purposes only. You would know if you trusted what you see me doing. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm getting tired of coming back to my body and my blood sugar is at 48. How many people in the medical industry know what it means to have a blood sugar of 48? I'll wait. I'll look for it in the comments for you to tell me how dangerous 48 is. Blood pressure, 70, over 45, pulse, 50. Ladies and gentlemen, 0116, Georgia. Ladies and gentlemen, as you can see, I promised my VIP that I would work my hardest to make sure that if they could not afford to run the first two, to invest in just the number one. You see it for yourself. The number one motherfucking big money pattern right here, right now. Look at the date, 110. $271. Ladies and gentlemen, I guarantee my VIP, hey, look, to win, this is the prerequisite. When you email me, look, ladies and gentlemen, this is my email, dynamicallydriven@gmail.com. When you email me, please start your email off with, hey, Mr. Bascomb, I'm really enjoying what I am learning. I am really enjoying what I am seeing. And I know that your prerequisite is for me to win, I must focus on your top 5, 3, or 4 digits, which I know that you promise the first 2 big money patterns, fire and triple dollar sign, will manifest from the dates that you tell me that they will do this. I also know that you guarantee the number 3 and the number 4 in my state, and also exclusively in Tennessee, Texas, Georgia, Ohio, Michigan, Florida, and North Carolina. That's all you need to do, and I will accept you. Other than that, you have to wait till you can print that out. And this is another reason why I don't answer all emails. Because if it doesn't have that in it, that means you're not ready. Look, 9836, promised. Number 1 motherfucking big money pattern. I told my VIP on January the 9th, look, you're on a winning team. You're sitting at the winner's table. If you want to win, you need to focus on my top 5, 4 digits, which I promised the first 2. Do you see how fucking hard I am working to make sure you don't fucking miss? I tell you where you will see it, guaranteeing that you will see it in Michigan. And in most cases, I don't practice this shit, but I let you know that I can make it fucking happen. And it does. Every single motherfucking day for the past 8, 9 years, I have been extremely accurate at what I fucking do. Look at this here, me showing the fuck off. Guaranteed, my number 3 big money pattern would manifest. If you want to win, you focus on my top 5, 4 digits. They will manifest from 19 to 117. I also guarantee that you will see, look, 1, 2, 3. the number 3 big money pattern in Michigan. Ladies and gentlemen, 798. Ladies and gentlemen, I guarantee to manifest. 897, the big money pattern. I told the VIP to when you focus on my top 5 3 digits, they will manifest 14 to 113. I also guarantee 1, 2, 3, 4. If you're focusing on the top 5, you got the top 4. Here I go showing off, ladies and gentlemen. I told the VIP, hey, look, 16 hours before the fucking number dropped, ain't nobody gonna be investing or even playing. They won't even be gambling on that number. This will be the number that you will see. You see it for yourself. This is hard work paying off. People ask me, what type of program do you use? I am the motherfucking program. I am the motherfucking algorithm. You see it for yourself. I put it in writing what I can do. I said it will manifest from 110 to 119. In most cases, I can make it happen in 24 to 48 hours. This was 16 motherfucking hours. I put you on alert that the black sheep are underdog big money patterns that hardly anyone will be investing in, looking at, or even playing. Congratulations, Big Money West. Sent him a free list of my cheat sheet. He blessed me, or whatever y'all want to call it in y'all world. And guess what? He's on a roll. 2 days in a row, solid. Look at this. 522, ladies and gentlemen. You see it for yourself. Deadline met. 522, only motherfucking big money pattern on fire between the dates 1/2/111. It dropped on 111. How many people know that I have a formula that where you go back to the very last day? Yesterday, the very last day was January 11th. You would have saw this happening. So today is January the 12th. VIP, look. You can go back to the January the 12th drawings, where January the 12th is the very last day. You see right here where 1/2 to 111, yesterday was 111. So if you go back to the predictions that have 112 on them and run the number 1 and fire, you will do well. I'll leave it at that. You see it for yourself. I promise my only big money pattern on fire would manifest straight by the deadline date in Florida. Ladies and gentlemen, 918. Ladies and gentlemen, I triple dollar sign. I promise my VIP. Look, if you focus on my top 5 3 digits, which I promise, the first 2, the fire and the triple dollar signs, they will manifest 110 to 118. I also guarantee that you would see, look at this, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Boom, 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 boom. That's North Carolina. Ladies and gentlemen, January 11th, 992, ladies and gentlemen, only motherfucking big money pattern on fire. You see it for yourself. I promise to put my work on fire. If you believe in fire, if you believe that you will get burned with the fire, guess what? You should learn that if I put a number on fire, it's on fire. That's what all I got to say. Straight. That's New York. For those of you who don't think I do all states. You see it for yourself, 992. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Wisconsin, 607. Look at that, ladies and gentlemen. I promised the number one motherfucking big money pattern would manifest today in Wisconsin, same day. Ladies and gentlemen, 9823. Ladies and gentlemen, look at that right there. Promise the very last number you see. I would make it manifest first in Georgia between the dates 1-5 and 113. Triple dollar sign to this proof. Ladies and gentlemen, 936. Ladies and gentlemen, number one motherfucking big money pattern. I promise if you want to win, focus on my top 5 3 digits, which I promise the first two. Look, they will manifest between the dates 1-8 and 116. This is for investment purposes only. Just like how you invest in stocks and bonds and cryptocurrency, this is the same ideal. But guess what? So much better. You see it for yourself. 2, 3, 1. Ladies and gentlemen, I promise my VIP, my number one motherfucking big money pattern. You see it for yourself. I told them on January 9th to win. Focus on my top 5, which I promised the first 2 will manifest. 1-9 to 118 in Ohio. When you see me circle these right this like that right there, I want you to pay close attention. That means that was from Ohio. So if you get caught between a rock and a hard place, just run Ohio for Ohio. I recommend you run 7 times 2. That's 14. That gives you a very wide spectrum of being able to win over and over and over again. But again, you can go with what you see here, the number one big money pattern. Ladies and gentlemen, you see it for yourself, 4364. Boom, boom. Black sheep on time. Ladies and gentlemen, I told you it would manifest between the dates 1-8 and 116 in Michigan. I told my VIP, hey, look, nobody's going to be investing in that combination. It is a black sheep. It is a underdog. Ladies and gentlemen, I gave them 2 black sheep. I told them, hey, look, these black sheep will manifest on time. You see it for yourself between the dates 1-9 and 118. Ladies and gentlemen, triple nines. Ladies and gentlemen, only 7 motherfucking hours. If I give you triples and within hours, and I tell you that I can do it in 24 to 48, guess what? Oh my goodness. You see it for yourself. Look, I put 2 of the heaviest stars on that combination, letting you know they're going to be leaning this way. You should have knew when I told you on the previous live when they were drawing 499. That 4 is actually a sacred 9. You write it down. I want you to write down a 4 and write down a 9 and tell me that those don't look the motherfucking same. Okay, let's keep it moving. Watch this. I'm showing the fuck off. 2 times I predicted triple nines would show up and show out between January 6th and January 14th in Michigan. Woo! Straight, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, check me out right there. You see it for yourself, the Fantasy 5. You got your 2, 5, 13, 20, and 23. I got 2, 5, 13, Watch that 6 and that 30 turn into those numbers. Ladies and gentlemen, as you can see, I do multiple drawings because it's always an investment. I invest in myself because I believe in myself. Ladies and gentlemen, 089. Ladies and gentlemen, I guaranteed 089 would manifest straight. I said to win on January the 7th. Focus on my top 3 digits. They will manifest on 17 to 115. I also guaranteed specifically the number 3 big money pattern in your state first, but it will also go to Florida. Guaranteed 089 straight. Ladies and gentlemen, 3017. Ladies and gentlemen, number 1 big money pattern. You see it for yourself. Boom. I said between the dates 110 and 118. If you are struggling, just do the number 1. Ladies and gentlemen, you got your 5, 3, 6, 8. Ladies and gentlemen, at 4:31 a.m. on January the 5th, I stepped outside of my body to travel into the motherfucking future and bring back this sacred information, telling my VIP, if you want to win, look, focus on the top 5, which I promised the first 2, from January the 5th to January the 13th in North Carolina. Boom, boom, boom. 431 got a timestamp. Woo! Ladies and gentlemen, 067. Ladies and gentlemen, I promised to manifest 067 straight. Told my VIP this big money pattern would manifest on 111 between the dates 17 and 115 in North Carolina. In order to win, all you need to do, it's a prerequisite to join my VIP. You must know. Look, the first 2, I promise. Focus on the top 5. In that top 5, you got 2 guaranteed, you got 2 promised on the first 2, and then that number 5 number, that one's promised. Ladies and gentlemen, 932. Ladies and gentlemen, I promise my VIP, look, if you believe in the hard work that you see me doing on January the 9th to win, look, you're going to see those triple dollar signs, which I promise will manifest from 19 to 118. I don't practice this, but in most cases, I can make it happen in 24 to 48 hours. Ladies and gentlemen, 6391. Ladies and gentlemen, I triple dollar signed that big money pattern to go to Georgia. I told my VIP, if you want to win, just focus on my top 4 digits, which I promise the triple dollar sign will manifest 14 to 113 in Georgia. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Boom, boom, boom. Ladies and gentlemen, here I go showing off. As you can see, I told my VIP, hey, look, if you want to really win and you're doing your due diligence, you're going to see that I am providing the same winning motherfucking big money patterns over and over and over again. So you can't lose. You have to win. Ladies and gentlemen, 2926. Ladies and gentlemen, I promised my VIP, if they believed in me, a 5-year-old can pick out fire. My only motherfucking big money pattern on fire would manifest 110 to 118, less than 24 motherfucking hours. Ladies and gentlemen, that was for New York. Stop asking me, do you do New York? You see it for yourself. It's right there. your state in capital motherfucking letters. Here I go showing off. New York, you don't see me getting off. Ladies and gentlemen, to win, focus on my top 4 digits. Look, which will manifest from one, what is that? 1, 2, or either 1, 3 to 111. I also guarantee it in your state, New York, guaranteed to manifest by the deadline date 6292 on 111/26. Ladies and gentlemen, 091 New York. You see it for yourself. Ladies and gentlemen, I told you, look, you better look for 941, 795, and 637 next. 091. You see that for yourself. You see my supernatural power at work to win. Focus on the top 3 digits, which I promise the first motherfucking 2 will manifest. 19 to 117, also guaranteeing it would go to your state. That's New York. That's straight. Ladies and gentlemen, 557. Ladies and gentlemen, 557. That's straight in Louisiana. You see it for yourself, which I promise. Look at that, ladies and gentlemen. $$ 557 straight for Louisiana. So y'all better start getting it together. 613, look at that right there. Promise my number 1 motherfucking big money pattern would manifest in Delaware. So if I haven't called your state, get ready to put them in now so we can do your state. Let me get a piece of paper and I will look up. If I've already done that state, I'm just going to ignore it. So if I haven't revealed your state, let's look and see if I did your state, and if I didn't, I'm going to give you what's moving forward. We got Maryland. I like to see new states. Maryland. Ain't that MD? Correct me if I'm wrong. Maryland. 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 Show. All right. So let's go check it out. Your MD, Maryland. Oh. Look at this right here, ladies and gentlemen. 140. 1648 971 and 1143. Okay, so we'll start with your 140. Pay close attention to the 409. Pay close attention to the 931 and the 914. As you can see, I promised my number 1 in your state, Maryland. On 111. Remember, in most cases, I can make it happen in 24 to 24, 24 to 24, 24 to 24, 24 to 24, 24 to 24. Yeah, 24 to 24. That's all 48 hours is 24 to 24. 24 to 24, ladies and gentlemen, 24 to 24. All right, so we got your 140. We're gonna look at your 14. Nope, your 1648. Your 1648. Your 1648. Ladies and gentlemen, I do believe that's straight. Ladies and gentlemen. Woo! Look at you, boy! All states. Look at this, man. Y'all better leave me the hell alone. The very last number you motherfucking see will manifest from 14 to 112. I also guarantee it in your state. Promised. My very last number you see. Ladies and gentlemen, that is a strategic formula that I designed to fuck up the matrix. And I trick these motherfuckers every single time. So, again, let me see. Promise my very last number you see would manifest 111 in Maryland. Let's see here from 14 to 112. Watch out for 9705-7950. Watch out for 2681. Watch out for 2680. 3061 is a black sheep. 1668, nobody will be investing in. Your only motherfucking big money pattern on fire is 9817. You got your top 5, 6483. Watch out for 268 deuce. That's guaranteed. Ladies and gentlemen, that was 1648 promised motherfucking straight. Now, do you believe me? Do you believe me now? Do you believe me now? 971. We're not finished. 971. 971, 971, 971, 971, 971, 971, 971. Woo! Y'all see it for yourself. On 110, 2026 at 12:13 p.m. Y'all see it for yourself. 9 motherfucking 71 straight. That very last number you see is an allegory. It's all it is. Believe it or not. You should be writing down the numbers with $$ in the first two. promised to manifest straight 0111 in Maryland. Look at that. With proof in writing. With the triple motherfucking $, which I promise. Will manifest from 110 to 118, also guaranteeing it would go to your state, Maryland. Stop asking me, do I do your state? And I put it in capital motherfucking letters that I do your state. And guess what? In most cases, I can make it happen in 24 to 48 motherfucking hours. Can't stress that enough. Can't. I can't. So, we got the 971 straight and promised. The circle means that I promised them. That right there, STR, obviously means straight. Let's take a look at 1143. So if you were a group member and you were just doing Maryland, do you see all of the money you left on the table with that 1648 and the 971 Maryland? I love you, Maryland. Yeah. 1143, 1143, 1143, 1143, 1143, 1143. Okay, 1134. Okay. 1314. That number is going to be traveling 1341, 1341. And 1413, 1431, 3411. That one's hot. 3114, 3141. 4113. Look at that. I tell you, this is why they hate me, because my numbers don't lie. Black sheep, black sheep. Watch out for 4314. Watch out for 1596. Only big money pattern on fire. Watch out for 2590. Watch out for 2624, 3641, 3604, 1483, and 3841. Black sheep. On time. To manifest in Maryland. 0111. Proof. Told you it would manifest between 16 and 114. I also guarantee it would go to your state. Y'all see that? And that one there was 4113. Let's go take a look at 4131. Let's take a look at 4311. Okay, that was the only one. So as you can see, Maryland, had you been a VIP member, you'd have been sold up. Sold up, sold up. All right, give me one more state, ladies and gentlemen. I already do Texas. I already do Texas. Texas is already done. Texas is already done. I did Texas on Saturday for the next 8 to 9 days. I'm trying. Oh, I see Virginia in there. Let's see here. That's VA, right? That's VA, right? Virginia. Virginia drops 8-3. Deuce. 4-6. Deuce. 2-5-6-2. 4-3-2-9. Okay, so we will start with your 832. To win, you focus on the top 3 digits, which I promised the first 2 big money patterns will manifest from 1-8 to 116. I also guarantee that you would see it in your state. Promise to manifest. I get straight in there. Virginia. With proof in writing. Woo! Y'all see it for yourself. Congratulations for those who are playing and investing in all states. So if you're just doing it for one day, you're playing a lottery. If you invest in multiple drawings, you are investing in the lottery. That's the difference. You got 2, 5, 6, 2, 2, 5, 6, 2, 2, 5, 6, 2, 2, 5, 2, 6. Watch out for 25, 25. 2, 2, 5, 6. 2, 2, 6, 5. 2, 6, 2, 5. 2, 6, 5, 2. 5, 2, 2, 6. 5, 2, 6, 2. 5, 6, 2, 2. 6225, 6252, 6522. Okay, so you do have one that I will reveal what you will see from 2562. To write this down, ladies and gentlemen, write this down. You will see these combinations. 8743. You're going to see 2562 and 2256. Write that down. 4013 2561. Only big money pattern on fire will be 4087. Watch out for 2563 and 7134. Black sheep, 4134 and 3444. Okay, 462. Moving on to 462. Your 462. Boom, 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 boom. Look at that right there, ladies and gentlemen. Triple dollar signed it. Wait a minute, look at that. Wait a minute. Y'all see how strong it was? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Remember, I ordinarily give them 4 traditional stars. 4 stars is all they normally get. If you see me load up on a number with heavy, remember the darker stars are heavier than the lighter stars. Look, you can look at that. That right there is heavy. I don't call them dark because they are not black. They are not blue. They are not purple. They are actually white. So they are heavier than these. So when I call a number heavy, that's what I mean. I have to use my own lingo to keep this going. So again, you see the 823. Remember, we already captured that. Watch out for triple fours with your heavy 4 stars. There's the 067. Watch out for 165. Watch out for 065. There's that 823 promised. Triple fours. Black sheep, black sheep. Told you to play these numbers between 17 and 115. Remember, if you're playing them more than one drawing, you're not playing the lottery. You are investing in yourself. I also guaranteed that this would go to your state, which was, look at this, promised. To manifest straight in Virginia. The proof on 111. Which I promise triple dollar signs will manifest. 4329 4329 4329 4329 4329 4329 4329 439 deuce. All right, I'm gonna go 2349 2394. Boom, boom, boom. Where are we at? Guaranteed we'll keep moving. Watch out for 2794 2694 8510. I'm missing a number there, 2691 and 2690. Over here, ladies and gentlemen, I said, look, that's the top four. So look, to win, focus on the top five. They will manifest 19 to 118. I also guarantee 1, 2, 3, 4, the number 4 positioned big money pattern in your state, guaranteeing to manifest in Virginia on 111 with proof in writing. Okay, I'm done with that, ladies and gentlemen. Now let's take a look at what we got going on, because I can get so consumed All right, so today, alrighty, Tennessee drops 686. Tennessee dropped their 340.68. So let me go see what I got to start off with first. It makes a difference. We'll start off with the four digit. And that number is 3468. Write these down, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, the very last number you see, heavy, 7152. Black sheep, 9257. 7257. Watch out for 8463 on the return. 8463. 9210, top two. 3, 4, 6, 8 will return. And I'm gonna put on fire. Three. No, 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 no. I'm going to go triple dollar sign 3572 heavy. Remember what heavy means. And on fire. Nine two five seven heavy. Okay, so we have our heavy numbers. One, two, three, four. Watch out for 9209 as a black sheep. 9209 black sheep. 7257 black sheep. Those are your only two black sheep that I'm going to include. Okay. Twenty-four to 48 hours. In most cases, this will happen. The number is 3468. Tennessee first draw. Okay. Okay, now I can come out of this. Let's go check it out now. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Only big money pattern on fire. Coming from your 2514. It was heavy, just like I said, but y'all don't hear me though. 8903-7063-4520. 3687-2541. Number one. How's that, ladies and gentlemen? You seeing it for the first time, just like I'm seeing it for the first time. Promised. 686. Oh, let me fix that up here. Let me do this. That was 3486, right? That's 21, ladies and gentlemen. Watch out for 7770. Watch out for 777s in a 3-digit. And also watch out for 111s. Watch out for 111s. Watch out for 111s. Okay, so let me see here. Pardon me. 3468. There we go. Okay. Moving on to your 686. Your 668. All right, ladies and gentlemen. As you can see, the very last number you see is right there. Heavy. $$ Watch out for 992 on fire. 776 black sheep. 534 $$ promised. 072 black sheep. 479 promise. 726 black sheep. 412 guaranteed. 079 guaranteed. 938 promised. 596 and 965 promised. Promise my very last number you see. Big money pattern. $. Would manifest first. 112. Proof. 19 to 117. I said it would manifest. Promising the $, guaranteeing its debut in Tennessee. Let's take a look at Texas, ladies and gentlemen, then I'm going to take a break. Texas 5-8 deuce. 3792. Okay, let me see here. Tennessee, we have to do your 686. Watch out for 514. Watch out for 992. Watch out for 668. Okay, 686 heavy. 992, very last number you see, heavy. 398, very last best alternate, promised, heavy. 263, black sheep. 932, heavy. And it'll be first best alternate, triple dollar signed. 586 heavy, 514 heavy. Guaranteed 768 and 765. And it'll be 24 to 48 hours. In most cases, I will make it happen. We are looking at your 686. And that is your Tennessee 3-digit. First drawing. Okay. All right. Now we're looking at your 5-8 deuce. Let's look at your 5-2-8. Okay. All right, here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Today is the 12th. So let's go. 22 hours ago. 22 hours ago. 22 hours ago. 22 hours ago. Look at them triple nines. Boom, boom, boom. 796. Boom, boom, boom. 135. Black sheep, black sheep. 948 is your number one heavy. 947 is your number two heavy. Guaranteed is 940 and 891. Triple dollar signs will manifest. 111 to 119, I also guarantee you would see this happen in Texas. And I said in most cases, I can make it happen in 24 to 48 hours. I did that shit in 22. Where's the love? I don't see no love. Man, I spend too much time doing this. Way too much. 22 hours ago. Okay. 3792, 3792, 3792. Guess the content is getting too strong. When they just kick you off like that, they can't handle the truth. All right. Let me go back and do. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. But I got banned just that quick. All right, 3792, 3792, 3792, 3792, 3792 is also going to be 2973. 2973. Watch out for 8140 heavy. And as I say heavy, I'm putting heavy stars on them. Your 8645, it'll be your first best alternate triple dollar signed heavy. You got your 2940. Watch out, watch out. 8106 heavy. And also, because we got 3792, we need to add one number on fire. Y'all know how I feel about the fire. Your fire is going to be 3805. 3805. 3805 heavy fire. And I'm going to give it 5 stars just because I know there's going to be a lot of people that are just going to overlook that. This will happen in 24 to 48 hours. Your number is 3792, which is a 4-digit. Okay. Wait a minute, wait a minute, wait a minute, wait a minute. I just got to see for myself. Okay, so it is. Let me take that out. Okay, so we're looking for That's from your 4771. Watch out for 4771. 927. There we go. I told you I wouldn't let you down. Time stamped on January 6, 11:20 a.m. Heavy triple dollar signs. As you can see, that's Texas, ladies and gentlemen. You see that, right? That's Texas. That's Texas. So that's when you see me do this. That was Texas for Texas. For those of you who just want to run the numbers for those states. This was to win. Focus on the top 4 digits, which I promise triple dollar signs will manifest 16 to 114. I also guarantee you would see it in Texas. We're at 100%. I'll try to return at 12:35 a.m. p.m. for Georgia, Ohio, and Michigan. I'm going to see everybody at the winner's table no matter what. Abundant prosperity in health and in wealth to all who follow me and believe in the hard work that you see me accomplishing every single day without fail. Watch out for 1109. Watch out for 1109. Uh, hmm. So Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to take a small break. Again, I'll try to return in about a half hour with Georgia moving forward. Again, if you'd like more information about what I'm doing, feel free to email me at dynamicallydriven@gmail.com. If you already know the prerequisite to join, by all means, go to dynamicpredictions.onrender.com. Secure yourself a package, take the receipt and email me your receipt, and I will gift you 7 free days. And that's with any package that you choose to go with. I'll see everybody at the winner's table, no matter what.